Good morning, students. We are so thrilled that you can join us today. And for those of you who are watching this after we broadcast originally, hope everyone is doing well as you tune in. We are thrilled to bring you another episode of Junior Achievement of Southern Colorado's speaker series and our virtual career exploration fair with Christina Anderson. And those of you in Pueblo, she needs no introduction. If you live in Pueblo, Colorado, she's certainly someone that you know and already respect. But as a reminder, Christina is the executive director of the Pueblo Children's Chorale. She also is the founder and CEO of Upon a Star, Singing Telegrams and Entertainers. And this year, she is also holding the title of Ms. Elite National USA. Christina is a powerful force in Pueblo, a great contributor to the community in so many ways to help build the economy there, to help develop young leaders, especially through her passion for the arts and music. And Christina, we are thrilled you could join us today. Thank you so much for being here. And I understand you have some great information to share with our students about character building and how to bring their best selves, not only to their classrooms every day, but also as they continue to grow and enter their careers, perhaps when they start thinking about their first jobs.
Good morning. Good morning, students. Good morning, teachers. I'm really excited to be here with you today. I'm going to show my whole sash off real quick so you can see the whole thing, because I know it's kind of hard to see. My Ariel necklace is getting in the way, but my Ms. Elite National USA sash. So I am a national queen now, excited to be in my year. And yes, I'm going to share some things with you today that are excellent building blocks for you as you go through your school career, as you start thinking about a job maybe later in life, maybe what you want to be when you grow up, so to speak. So I hope that you will enjoy these comparisons that I've come up with. And since I am such a huge Disney fan, as you can see, I'm wearing my Ariel dress today. I'm in my Little Mermaid dress. I'm going to share some.
Christina, it looks like Christina's frozen for me. Is she frozen for anybody else? Yeah. Christina, if you can hear me, you may want to turn your camera off and on. That might solve the problem.
Did
there
that
we
help?
go. Yep. Live TV, sometimes we have technical glitches, but if it freezes again, I'll let you know. We can just turn that camera off and on and we should reconnect.
Yes, you were frozen for me a little while ago. The screen went black, but then you came on and I could hear you. So could everyone hear what I just said? Do I need to repeat that?
I would, just start with maybe the last minute of what you said.
Okay, so I'm going to use some comparisons in the character traits that I talk about with a lot of Disney, because I love Disney, and I'm wearing my Little Mermaid dress today, my Ariel dress. And so I thought I'd share some comparisons with you to make it easier to maybe understand. And you can go, wow, ding, ding, that might go off in your head as, oh yeah, I remember that in that movie, and I remember that trait. So I'm going to talk to you about 7 different traits real quick. So first of all, working hard in school is so important. You need to learn as much as you can while you are in school. And I'm going to use the example of how many of you have seen the movie Meet the Robinsons? I own it. Anyway, Lewis was such a good student, and he loved to invent, and he loved to work hard and show off his inventions at science fair. And also, he got adopted by the family that were, scientists themselves and invented. So he worked really, really hard in school, and he was able to do all that fun stuff, even through as he became an adult. And you saw, what happened at the end. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, but Lewis was a hard worker. So I want you to remember that when you're thinking about working hard in school. I want you to remember Lewis from the Meet the Robinsons. Second of all, being a good listener. So I know that Angie introduced myself. I am the executive director for the Pueblo Children's Chorale. And this is what I always tell my singers. My singers get to sing, during whole rehearsal. And at the end of rehearsal, I always have some instructions that I need to give them. So I always tell them it's time to open your ears and close the mouths so you can hear the instructions, because they'll be chit-chatting with their friends and talking, and they'll miss everything that I say, and then nothing gets home to the parents. So this is what's important, for listening, especially when you're in school. Sometimes your teacher may be talking about something important. They're always talking about something important. Maybe they're giving an answer to a test that you're about to have. You missed that. Guess what? You don't get the answer right on your test. So you need to pay attention, not always be chit-chatting. I was a chit-chatter in school, so I am talking from experience. Just about on every report card, my teacher always put, Christina loves to talk. Yes, I do love to talk, and that's probably why they have me here today, because I love to talk. But you need to make sure you close the mouth sometimes and open the ears, okay? Be a good team player. Now, this is important, especially where I work with the Public Children's Chorale. I always tell my singers, chorale is not about one singer. We are all singing together as one. So you need to make sure that when you're in school, you want to make sure that everybody is appreciated. Everyone gets that chance. Everyone works together, because making sure that everybody is together makes you number one. It doesn't make you number one out on your own. Everyone together makes you number one. So just make sure that you are thinking about those other students in your class, the other in your extracurricular activities, whether you play a sport, whether you are involved in music, in a choir or in a band, or whatever you may be involved in, theater. Everyone working together as one makes you the best. So everyone will be special in that way. Helping others. One of my favorite movies is Cinderella. I love just about every version of Cinderella, but the live action that came out a few years ago is one of my favorites. And one of my favorite quotes came from that movie: have courage and be kind. So that has always been a motto of mine since then. I mean, since before the movie came out, I always have tried to be kind. Helping others to me is so important. We recognized 15 outstanding youth from the community at our Children's Chorale concert just a few weeks ago. And I'm going to tell you what, those young people, I get those applications and they're just wonderful. All of these young people from your age, from kindergarten, all the way through through high school, they are out there helping others. They are out there doing great things in their community. And you know what? You can do that from any age. So I'm going to give you a little story. There was a kindergarten, who decided to have a lemonade stand for the summer so she could raise money to send to an orphanage in Africa. How incredible is that? At kindergarten, has that heart to give and heart to help others. So it doesn't matter what age you are, you can always be out there helping others. So have courage and be kind. Those are my special words. Asking questions. Boy, you should never stop asking questions, because you never know everything. No one knows everything. They may think they do, but they don't. I don't know everything. So I ask questions all the time. And my husband gave me a great quote. My husband is Mr. Mark over at Hoff Elementary. He gave me a great quote yesterday. When in doubt, search it out. That's a great quote. So when in doubt, search it out. All of you know how to use Google. All of you know how to use the internet and ask questions. And of course, all of you should have special people in your life that you can ask those questions to. So hopefully you have a mentor. Hopefully you have a parent, a grandparent, an aunt and uncle that you can go, hey, I don't know the answer to this question. Can you help me? Can you help me with the answer? And they will be there to help you. So make sure you're always asking questions. Don't think you know everything, because no one does. No one knows all of the answers. Then this is a very special one to me. Be yourself. I'm going to tell you, no one enjoys someone who is fake. Be yourself. And the example that I'm going to use is Merida from the movie Brave. Merida definitely wanted to be herself. Obviously, she was a princess from a very, from a royal family, but she wanted to be her own self. She wanted to shoot the arrow for her own hand. She didn't want to be locked into a marriage to someone else. She wanted to be herself. So always be yourself. Be like Merida. Be brave. Be strong, and just show your own self off, because that's what's important. No one wants to see someone that isn't real. So be yourself. All of us are special in our own way, and you need to show that specialness off. Okay. I'm going to use a quote that I have always taken to heart, and it is, figure out something that you love to do in life, and then find a way to make money at it. And that is a quote that I have taken to heart my whole life. My parents, one wanted me to be a doctor, one wanted me to be a lawyer. Two professions that I was not interested in whatsoever. I'm a musician. I've always been a musician. And so they could not see the value in me being a musician, being a singer. So I took my own path, and I was just like Merida. I was brave, and I just shot down that path, and I never looked back. So I take that quote to heart. So figure out what you love to do, and that's what's going to make you happy throughout your whole life. Never do anything that you don't enjoy doing. That's just true from my heart. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Okay, mistakes are going to happen. They help you learn. Okay, they're going to make sure you go down the right path. Get back up and try again. Try everything. So that song is from the movie Zootopia, which I love. And as you know, Officer Judy Hopps, she made mistakes, but then she went back and she owned it, right? She went back and she said, hey, I've made this mistake, but help me correct it. Help me fix it. So always try everything. Okay, don't get down about it. Get back up. Try again. You may not like soccer the first time. You may not like singing the first time. You may not like anything the first time. You may not like math the first time. But guess what? You just keep trying and trying and trying again, and try everything. Don't give up. So those are the traits that I wanted to talk about. And so hopefully all of you have got a little bit of inspiration from all of the different movies and the quotes that I've used to describe those. And I tried to make it a little bit fun. And I know that there are students on from all grade levels and schools. And so I guess I'll just turn it back to you, Angie.
Yeah, you have said some really, really wonderful things and really great advice, students. So if you remember back at the beginning of what Christina talked about, she said working hard in school is number one. You know, applying yourself, being your best self, just like Lewis. And then being a good listener. So there are times when we always want to be able to share our voice, but there are times when we need to listen to understand what other people are saying. And then being a great team player. You cannot truly achieve success by yourself. You will need a team to support you, and you'll need to work with that team. Have courage and be kind. Have courage and be kind. I mean, the Cinderella, such a beautiful thing to think about. Never stop asking questions. And it doesn't matter how old you get. It's not a sign. Questions are not a sign of weakness. They're a sign of knowing enough to know that you need to know more. It's an opportunity to say, I need to know more here. And I'm going to ask a question. And it's very brave when you ask a question. Be yourself. Be yourself. Always bring yourself, because people will notice when you're not truly being your authentic self. And then the other thing, don't be afraid of making mistakes, and know that we are going to make mistakes because we are humans. And when we make a mistake, we learn from it. The most important thing is what you do after a mistake and learning from that mistake. Some of you are brave and some of you do have questions. So I will start with the first one. This one's from Steven, and he wants to know, how do you get into a performing arts career successfully? How do you make that first step to join a performing arts career?
Wow, that's a great question, Stephen. Thank you. So I have been involved in choirs ever since I was young. So about second, third grade, joined my first choir in school. And that's where my spark and my love for music began. And then I continued being in choirs throughout my whole life, through high school. Even after I graduated from high school, I joined the Pueblo Choral Society here in Pueblo because I wanted to continue to sing in a choir. Then I started working for a company out of Denver called Eastern Onion Singing Telegrams. And that inspired me to start my own business a few years later upon a star singing telegrams and entertainers. And I never thought I'd start doing singing telegrams because, man, you walk into a room and it could be a restaurant, a house, a business. You never know where I'm going to bust in and start singing. And you have to have that braveness about you, and that serious courage to do that. So it's taken me, my whole life to get where I am, and I've enjoyed it every minute of it. Just being involved in your choirs, getting involved in organizations around town that are involved in the performing arts, and just keep honing your craft. Okay, keep working on your craft because that will make you successful. So never stop trying to be better than you already are.
Never stop trying to be better than you already are. And I like how you said, you started as early as second and third grade. So if you're passionate about something, if you love to sing, if you love to play the guitar, if the arts are something that you're interested in, being brave enough to join the chorus, being, putting yourself out there and then understanding that you might just love it. You might really enjoy it. But you have to try. You have to be willing to go to the choir practice. You have to be willing to show up to audition sometimes. Yeah.
And honestly, that was part of the inspiration in starting the Pueblo Children's Chorale, in order to give children that are in 2nd to 8th grade that opportunity to have somewhere to perform in case they don't have choirs at school, or they're from a community that doesn't have any arts programs in their schools. So that's why the Pueblo Children's Chorale exists. We teach kids to sing. They don't come in Broadway stars. And sometimes they don't leave Broadway stars, but they will go on and usually keep music in their life, their whole life long, whether it be they become a music teacher. Some of them have went on to star in different things on Broadway and in LA. After doing this for 25 years, there have been many kids along the way that I've seen grow in their musical journey. So I'm honored to be able to be a part of that. So just keep working at it.
Keep working at it. That's right. Okay, we have more questions. Christina, Ben from Sunset Park wants to know, you talked about asking questions. You said, make sure you're asking questions, but what if you're too scared? What if you are frightened about asking questions? What if you have inside of you this fear about speaking up and asking a question? How can a student get past that?
That is a great question, because I actually work with many young people of all ages, and I have seen many young people that are in their late teens, early 20s, late 20s, still have a problem with talking face to face to someone, still have a problem even talking on the phone to someone. I think modern technology, we keep our heads down like this, and we're in our phones all the time. And I think that has been hard for some young people to feel like they can't talk to someone. And just find that person in your life, whether it be a parent, whether it be a grandparent, aunt and uncle, close friend. Okay, you can always find someone to talk to and be able to open up to. And that is what you have to really work on finding. And then that person is your person that you go to, that you ask those questions of. And they'll be there for you. So whether it's a best friend, whether it's a close.
Oh, and Christina, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Oh, there you go. You're back.
I'm back. So just make sure that you have that special person in your life that you can go to. Everyone has someone, at least I hope you do. And if you don't, you need to really work on finding that person. Don't be shy, open up to them. And if they don't have the answer, someone will have the answer. So that person may be able to go to someone else and say, so-and-so has a question and I'm trying to help them find the answer. So
Yeah, that happens all the time when you are trying to find the right mentor, the right person to help, a role model, and or a helper, and you speak with someone and they might not have the answer, but they are able to introduce you to someone who might. So if there's someone that you feel comfortable with, if it's your parent, if it's a teacher, if it's someone that you see in the business world, and you'd like to know more about what they do, you'd like to know more about how they got to where they are in their career, you can ask them questions and really try to learn from them. And they might want to help guide you in a direction for that career. All right, we have another question. Fremont Elementary, Mrs. Holmes' class. It says, can you sing for us? And do you sing happy birthday? Because we have a student with a birthday this week. So we'll save that one. And then it says, do you always use the same voice when you're singing? Do you use a high voice or a low voice? And then how many different songs would you say you know?
Oh my goodness, so many questions in one question.
I know
First
it's
of all,
several questions.
First of all, happy birthday to whoever may be in the class. I am so glad we have some students on from Canyon City. That's fantastic. I've loved going there for junior achievement. So yes, I do sing. Sometimes I sing in a high voice and sometimes I sing in a low voice. You just never know what the song may call for. You have to be able to sing in the right, it's called key. So you never know if the song is high or low. You need to find the right range for your voice. And since it is your birthday, I will sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, special student. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
And I might get
Beautiful.
something else here in a little bit, but I'm going to save that little secret for the end. How many songs I know? Goodness. Wow, over the years, I have sang so many songs since I've been singing, for quite some time. I'm not going to tell you how well, over 30 years, let's just say that. That doesn't give away my age too much, does it? So over 30 years I've been singing. So in, 30 years, if you think about maybe an average of, maybe, I don't know, 5 to 6 different songs that I learn in a year. Let's all do our math. That ends up being, what, about 180 songs or more than I know. Somewhere in there, maybe.
180?
Not that I can remember all the lyrics to all of those songs anymore. Sometimes I have to have a little cheat sheet in front of me to remember the lyrics. But over the years, it's been quite a few songs, quite a few.
And students, reminder, go ahead and get some questions in. We'll take some more if you have any more. I have a question for you. You said that your parents had wanted you to be a doctor or a lawyer, and you were very interested in the arts. How did you prove to them that something you were passionate about and something you loved, which was singing and the arts, could be a career? What did you have to do to show, hey, no, I can make money doing this, right? So what would you say, how did you do that? How did you convince your parents or convince yourself or build a business around something that you were passionate about?
Well, I just did it. I just took the leap and did it. My dad wanted me to be a doctor. I can't stand the sight of blood. I pass out. I pass out at the sight of blood, needles, anything having to do with that. My mother wanted to be a lawyer, and just because I like to argue, well, that doesn't make someone a lawyer. So there's a lot of schooling involved, and I was ready to get out of school as quickly as possible. I got straight A's. I graduated with a gold cord from high school. I was very good. I went on to schooling after that. I was going to be a flight attendant. I was going to work in the friendly skies and work for the travel industry. That's what I was really going to do. But then, my husband proposed marriage, and then we got married. So I changed my whole career path completely. How did I prove to them that an arts business would work? Well, in all honesty, I'm still proving it to them. So the Pueblo Children's Chorale is in its 25th year. I am the last founding member of the organization, and I'm the executive director. And so, but it wasn't until 10 years in. So for the last 15 years, I've been paid. For the first 10 years, I was not paid. So it took a little bit of time. And then when I started my Upon a Star business, which I'm in my 11th year of that, I had, I know that they saw the success that I had when I was doing singing telegrams for Eastern Onion singing telegrams out of Denver. I don't think they were quite convinced that I would be able to start something on my own. But in the past few years, they've seen how successful that I've been with it. And so hopefully they see the success as a win, and that I'm doing what I love. And, my husband and I travel all the time. We have a great life. We have a home, we have a car. So, I mean, I have the necessities of life. I don't have a mansion. I don't live in a mansion. I know it looks like I might live in a mansion with this crown,
No, a castle.
No.
That would be a castle.
That would be a castle. That's right. No, this princess lives in a cottage. So I'm actually in my home. I'm in my office, my home office. So this princess lives very, very simply. So you wouldn't get that from looking at me. You would probably think that I do live in a castle, but I don't. So I think life and success is what you make of it. I don't think you need to be out there to prove anything to anyone. I think you need to just make sure that you are doing what you love in your heart and that you enjoy, and no one else can tell you anything else. I mean, no one, not even your parents, your grandparents. You do what you love for you, and just make it successful. However, whatever way you can, make it a success. And that's what I had done. Like I said, I figured out what I like to do in life, and then figured out a way to make money at it. And that's exactly what I've done.
And that's so important. And just to clarify, if they say do your chores or do your errands or be nice to your brother or sister or be nice to your family or look people in the eye, it's taking what your parents are teaching you to help you understand good values and good character, and then saying the skills that I'm learning by cleaning my room, by being nice to my brother and sister, I would like to apply those by being a musician, or I'd like to apply those by going to acting school. But you still have to follow the rules to some extent, right, to make sure that we
That's
are
right.
building our character in that way too.
That's right. When I'm talking about the success, that means choosing what you want to be when you're an adult, when you have towed the line through your young selfhood. I've just made that word up. So when you're younger and you are, handling your chores at home, listening to your parents, taking that advice, take that advice, but then take it to your heart and go with what your heart tells you that you should do in your life. When you get older, when you decide to go to school or whatever you end up doing, college, trade school, career, whatever path you decide to choose, make sure that you choose it for yourself.
And Christina, I also think it's important, if a parent says, okay, we're going to piano lessons, but you don't want to go to piano lessons, you don't know until you get there if you're going to love it. You might start playing the piano and discover you love it, and it becomes something that you do later in life. So saying yes to things early, just as you're learning new opportunities and new hobbies and new skills, the more of those you learn, the more opportunities you have to find something that you love and that you're passionate about, and that you can't wait to get back to. Maybe you dread going to the first piano class, but then after the first one, you say, I can't wait to go back because I loved it so much. Yeah. So just kind of being open to ideas and suggestions, and not saying, no, I don't like that, because you didn't try it. So how do you know until you try? Right.
That's right. That's right. Like I said, try everything. Try everything. Don't give up the first time. Keep trying and trying again. You never know when something is going to stick. And if you give up right away, then you don't know if that was really for you or not. So make sure you go to those piano lessons. Make sure you go to those rehearsals, those practices for a sport, whatever it may be, and keep trying. So you won't know if it's for you unless you try.
Try everything. And Christina, I love your example of life and how you have, I think of a song that I listen to and it says, I have everything I need and nothing that I don't. Right. So you are living your dreams in a way that when you grew up, you wanted to be a musician, you wanted to have a career in the arts, and you're passionate about students and bringing the arts to students. And with your nonprofit, Christina, that you have started, you are bringing the joy of music and the opportunity of music to students who have never been able to sing and perform before. And you're bringing that to them. And then with your career, first of all, when you bring a singing telegram somewhere, you bring joy just walking in the room, the excitement and the joy of being there. But you are living your dream. And that is something about your story that is so inspiring to me, that you have made a life of what you love. And I think your point of, find what you love and build your life around it. Because the saying, Christina, something goes like, if you are doing what you love in your career, then you will never really work a day in your life because your work brings you joy.
That's absolutely true. So I consider myself the luckiest girl in the world to get to do what I love. To get to do what I love every day. I never take that for granted. Every rehearsal that I go to for children's chorale, I'm in awe of my singers. I'm in awe of what they accomplish every week. We're about to take them to Elitch's this week on Saturday to perform up there. They've
Oh,
been to
yes.
Disneyland. They've performed in Disneyland twice. They've performed in Washington, D.C. They've been to Boston. We're so proud of them. I mean, I am in awe of what they do and what they accomplished. I get to jump into, a business or a store or wherever I may be, a hospital, and get to bring someone joy in their life, by just bringing a song to them that day. And that is a miracle, that I get to do that. I mean, who gets to do that, right? I do. So,
You do.
you ask, who are those people that do that? Well, that's me. So, I never, ever, take one moment of my life for granted. I am so blessed to have the life that I have, to get to do what I get to do. And then get to enjoy the perks of that, which is traveling and getting to have time with my husband and my dog Copper, which you might end up seeing here in a little bit. And so, we have a great time together. My son, lives in Denver. And so he's 26 now. So he's got his life. And so we are just, we're blessed. That's all I can say is I'm blessed and I'm happy. And if you're doing that in your life, you will be happy. Just make sure that you're always doing what you love to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Work hard in school, be a good listener, know how to be a good team player, have courage and be kind. Never stop asking questions. Always be yourself. Don't be afraid of mistakes and try everything. Those are the lessons we've learned from Christina this morning. Christina, I think we're ready. I think the students have asked their questions. If you're ready to close out with our special surprise.
Yes, yes. So since I'm dressed as Ariel today, I decided to sing one of the songs that I've been singing for a very long time, probably at least 30. Well, I can't remember how old Ariel is. I'd have to think about that a little bit. I know she's at least 25. So I know that I've been singing this song for a very long time. Part of Your World is one of my favorite songs to sing. I love the movie The Little Mermaid. It's one of my favorites. And has inspired a lot of things in my life. So I'm going to sing for you now. So hope you enjoy it. Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around, you think, sure, She's got everything. I got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking around on those, what do you call them? Oh, feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down a, what's that word again? Oh, street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Bet you on land they understand that they don't reprimand their daughters. Right, young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand and ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn. When's it my turn? When I love to explore that shore above, out of the sea. Wish I could be part of that world.
Yay! Oh, Christina, so beautiful. Your voice is like velvet. It is such a beautiful voice, a beautiful melody. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your talent with us. Thank you for sharing your words of wisdom with our students as well. Students, remember, try everything, and hopefully one day we can all live our dreams like Miss Christina as well. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you. Goodbye, students. Goodbye, teachers. Good